It was November 1978, and Atlanta fans had seen their promising quarterback fall from grace. Steve Bartkowski, the Falcons' first ever #1 draft pick and 1975 Rookie of the Year, had struggled through injuries and inconsistencies. By the 1978 preseason, he'd been benched, losing the starting job, and even questioning whether he belonged in the NFL. His confidence shaken, Bartkowski was on the brink of being written off by teammates and coaches alike. Bartkowski hit rock bottom that summer, as he later recalled, after losing the job to backup June Jones in a preseason game. Determined to prove himself, he refocused on his game and faith, and by mid-season, he had clawed his way back into the lineup. Now, Atlanta stood 6-4 and still fighting for a playoff spot. The stakes could not have been higher. Every Falcons victory meant Bartkowski's career would live, while each loss edged him closer to the end. The scene was set on November 12, 1978, at the Louisiana Superdome. Atlanta trailed the New Orleans Saints 17-6 with just 2:23 left on the clock. On the sideline, Bartkowski erased his doubts and took charge. In what would become a legendary drive, he led the Falcons on an 80-yard sprint. With just seconds remaining, running back Haskell Stanback punched it in with a 1-yard touchdown, and Atlanta had rallied to 17-13 after the Saints failed to run out the clock. The Falcons got the ball back at their own 43-yard line with 19 seconds left, the final Hail Mary time. Bartkowski lined up in a trips formation. He took the snap and launched a desperation deep ball to the right sideline, a play famously called Big Ben Right. As the football spiraled high, receivers fought for position. Suddenly, linebacker-turned-receiver Wallace Francis leapt and tipped the pass, not to himself, but into the hands of wideout Alfred Jackson at the 10-yard line. Jackson streaked into the end zone for a miraculous 57-yard touchdown that stunned 70,000 spectators. In the final seconds, Atlanta pulled off the impossible. Falcons fans erupted as the scoreboard flipped to 20-17. Bartkowski had not only won the game, he had saved his career. The play, known forever as Big Ben Right, became one of the greatest finishes in Falcons history. The ESPN recap later called it miraculous, noting the 57-yard Hail Mary helped Bartkowski best Saints quarterback Archie Manning. That day, that one throw did more than win a game. It changed everything. Atlanta squeaked into the playoffs at 9-7, a milestone they'd never achieved before. Bartkowski, once labeled a bust, suddenly looked like a leader again. 2 weeks later, he guided Atlanta to its first ever postseason victory, a 14-13 wildcard win over Philadelphia. In that game, he threw for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns, raw evidence that the spark from New Orleans had reignited his arm and his confidence. The aftermath of Big Ben Right was profound. Bartkowski's career entered a renaissance. He threw for over 3,500 yards and 31 touchdowns in 1980, a Pro Bowl season, and led the Falcons to another title. The desperate throw that November night had transformed his trajectory. By the time he retired, Bartkowski held virtually every Falcons passing record and was enshrined in the team's Ring of Honor. Looking back, that single game in 1978 looms as the moment Bartkowski's legacy was saved. It stands as a powerful reminder that in football, as in life, one extraordinary play can turn doubt into destiny.